Happy Monday. Happy Monday, y'all. Happy Monday. Let's get to it. Sunday night football. Chicago Bears. San Francisco 49ers. Let's get to it. Now, I'm going to keep it 100 with you, right? I'm going to keep it 100 with you. The 49ers offense is clicking, right? 49ers offense clicking. And this is without George Kittle, right? This is without George Kittle. 49ers offense is clicking. And they're clicking at the right time. Brock Purdy, in the last two games, got 10 touchdowns. Last two games, he got 10 touchdowns. He fucked me up fantasy wise. I was supposed to win the championship. This nigga got 10 touchdowns in the last two games, right? And y'all seen the play, right? Y'all seen the play where he got Hughes Check involved. He ran between two Chicago Bears defensive linemen and threw the ball. Check this out. The 49ers offense is dope right now. This is the key. Anybody who had, if you want to keep it all the way 100, right? There was no difference between Williams and Purdy. They were doing the exact same thing. 49er defense did step up. And you all heard the bid don't break. The 49ers was bending all the way until the last couple of seconds. Okay. Next week we have a chance to sit up here and play Seattle for first. I don't think any 49er fan thought that shit was gonna happen. Or let alone it come down to the last game to Seattle, especially being here. But if we break down that game, right, let's not even talk about the offense because the offense did what it is supposed to do. It was the defense. It was the defense. The defense, and we all know the real reason why the defense is struggling, right? Fred Warner's not there. Bosa's not there. A rookie DN is not there. But this is what is more so concerning, right? Y'all seen, um, y'all seen the way that a wide receiver was killing us down the field. Our coverage, and I don't know if it's Jair Brown. Yeah, like he got beat. Like, put it to you this way. Let me put it in context like this. In my hearts and hearts, right? I feel like the 49ers can offensively anybody, but the defense. Imagine the 49ers playing Philadelphia, even out here. That defensive line, our defensive line will have to generate pressure. And not only generate pressure, we got to come up with some motherfucking stops, some interceptions, some sacks. Even though Williams is one of them type of quarterbacks where you might think you got him, but you ain't got him. You heard me say this before. It was a test, more so for our defense because we're about to start facing, once we're in the playoffs, but we're about to start facing running quarterbacks. And this is the playoffs. So 9 out of 10, guess what? To keep it all the way 100 with you, teams are going to exploit that. Hey, the 49ers can't. They can't cover the top. Okay. The speed was just too much. I don't know why. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I don't know why the Bears didn't keep throwing it up top. Because the 49ers couldn't stop it. They just couldn't stop it. Now, Salah, you going to hear me say this, Salah deserves, based off of this year, based off of just this year, he deserves to coach. He deserves to be a head coach. Now, is that going to happen? We shall see. But he does deserve to be a head coach. I would love to keep him one more year. Hey, look, to keep him one more year, to add with more defensive players, maybe in free agency and in the draft, with him, Bosa, Fred Warner coming back, Williams, like, uh, you know, I would love to see that, for him to stick around one more year. One more year. One more year. But, however, seeing Christian McCaffrey, like, he's having an unbelievable year. D. Winters, right? D. Winters, to me, when D. Winters is on, like, there was a play he made with Williams. Williams was coming. Williams could not get the first down. Williams had him. It was in the second half. Winters had him. His speed and his versatility, right, is nice. Give him, and I will say this, give him another year or two. He's going to be, Winters is going to be a beast. Okay, if we kind of seen it all year, even when he was playing next to Fred Warner, he was just making plays. I think what has happened is, right, is he's asked now to do a larger role. And based off of doing a larger role, sometimes it seems like he's not in the place. He's in there. One, he's hella fast. Sometimes he'll over pursue a play, right? He will over pursue a play. So Winters, to me, is our best defensive player out there as of now. And if he starts to sit up here, if he can get 1 to 2 games going to where, he settles in, he able to read the coverages, be able to stop the run, because he is our key. Okay, he's right now our key, because like I said, our defensive line is not generating any type of pressure. I mean, well, let's really be honest. We did generate enough pressure, especially in that last sequence of plays for the Bears. Like, you understand, we did it. And even throughout the game, Williams was getting pressured. So it wasn't like he just had a free time all the time. He was getting pressured. His accuracy and his arm strength was just, you know what I'm saying, just too much. But 49ers has a chance to sit up here and to be the number 1 seed in the playoffs. Come on, man. Come on, like, hey, look, shout out to the Niners. Shout out to the Niners. I'm surprised. And I think that's a good thing. I didn't think we were going to be in this position when everybody got hurt in the beginning of the season. Bosa and then Fred Warner. It was one thing with Bosa. Fred Warner, and then, yeah. So shout out Niner gang. Hey, look, it would be lovely, literally, for the Super Bowl to literally go through us. Right? That's it. Now, check this out. I will say this. Right? I will say this. I will, as far as the offense goes, right? Just as far as the offense goes, check this out. Last week we played the Colts. Now keep in mind, I will say this, right? The Colts did not have their best two cornerbacks in Sauce Gardner or come on, we know about Tradarius Ward. They didn't have a man. Now, me personally, next week's game, right? Now let's keep it 100 with you. We were afraid of the Bears because the Bears have, what was it, 6 games that they won in the last few seconds of the game. We just seen what they did to the Packers, last week. What was that, Christmas? Or, yeah, on Monday. You seen it. We seen it. Like, the, but I was, as far as the offense, and this, like I said, I'm talking about the offense for a second. As far as the offense goes, next week, because we're playing a better defense, right? We're playing a better defense. Hopefully, Kittle will be back, right? He said that he had some swelling in his foot, or his ankle, yesterday morning, so he wasn't able to play. But I would love to sit up here and to see how we will play a defense that's not hurt. Because I feel like, let's keep it 100 with you. Had the Bears had a better defense, right? It go like this, and this is something else. Had the Bears had a better defense, I think that game maybe goes a different way. Even if the Colts had all their pieces in. One thing about my Kyle Shanahan is Kyle is going to, if you give him time, he will find a way to break your defense. Okay? It might take the third quarter, fourth quarter, but he will find a way. Now, next week is a division game. Now, everybody was saying we were supposed to beat the Bears, right? Based off the fact that we were at home, right? So we did. We beat the Bears. Next week is going to be the game to see, just to see how our offense is going to play against a defense that has everybody there, and how our defense is going to play, right, against a division opponent, and for everything, for the number one spot. And guess what? Now, this is what I will say based off of next week's game. I don't trust their quarterback. As dope as their quarterback is, Sam Darnold, right? I don't trust him in big games. Now, I think that is a point for the defense because I think the defense can get out there. Even though, don't get me wrong, when Sam is, come on, bro, we know about Sam. He used to be in our backup, right? So we know about Sam. Sam knows about us. Now, yeah, this is a different time, different defense. I would like to see how we will manage their run game. Now, their running back, right? They got two nice running backs. One of them's hella fast. Other one more like, it kind of reminds us of the 49ers running back, Christian McCaffrey and B. Rob, right? How we're going to contain them. Now, what I will say is, I'm glad we're not playing them in Seattle, right? And look at how everything has just Everybody was saying we had the easiest schedule, yet it's coming down to the last games. And let's keep it 100 with you. Shout out to the Bears because that game wasn't no piece of cake. Okay, that shit kind of reminded me of a Madden game, right? Like you ever see your kids play Madden and they just going back and forth, no defense, nobody blocking big plays here and there. But we all know playoff football ain't that. Playoff football like that. So to see these rivals, to see Sam go against the 49ers for a number one spot. And guess what? Last year, if I'm not mistaken, Sam had the number one spot and they lost because the Eagles was number two. Okay? Shout out to the Eagles beating the Bills. Hey, look, I'm going to keep it 100 with you, right? As far as the look, if if it's clear to see that Pat Mahomes not going to the Super Bowl this year, AFC is open, and all the young quarterbacks are licking their chops, especially the ones that got the defense, the Patriots, Broncos. Hell, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, right? The Texans, the Houston Texans. Look, and the reason why I brought up that because a lot of people was thinking, well, shit, Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen got a clear. Nah, he don't. Nah, he don't. Bills defense ain't even really that good. Okay, I'm gonna just keep it 100 with you. The Bills defense not even that good. They're not good. They're not good whatsoever. Now, yeah, they made a couple of plays yesterday, but they still lost. The magic we're accustomed to seeing Josh Allen have, one of the reasons is you're gonna have to pay Cook, right? You're gonna have to pay Cook. Pay Cook, but you need a number one wide receiver. Y'all let Diggs go. You supposed to cash out that man. Let Diggs go. You let Diggs go. I don't see the Bills, right? And Josh Allen is dope, right? I love watching Josh Allen play. Josh Allen is nice. But I feel like you can't, when you have a great quarterback, you can't be like, just go win it. They should have, in this offseason, the Bills need to go out and get a number one. They need to get a number one wide receiver. I don't, Cole, I don't trust their wide receivers, especially when it's coming down to big games. But Philly defense, Carter's back. Carter's back. Philly is going to be a problem for anybody in the playoffs based off their defense. They're going to be a problem. Okay, they're going to be a problem. Right now, if I had just in the AFC, just not the NFC, but if I had house money, I would put, I would have the Texans. I can't even front. I would have the Texans. The Texans is on point right now. The Texans are on point. That defense is flying around. I will put it on the Texans. Now, this is not today take away from the Broncos or the Patriots, right? Because if I I would probably, because now, because of that loss, the Patriots, they done clinched the division, right? So, whose defense out of the Patriots and the Broncos do I think is a little bit more effective? I would probably say the Broncos. But see, but I would say the Texans, but I would say the Texans just because of their defense. But if I had to put an offense and just be like offensively, yeah, I would either, yeah, that shit is hard. But yeah, yeah, it's so up in the air. We're gonna have some great ass play. Hey, the AFC is about to go down. This is not to knock the NFC because the NFC is just as good. But what makes the AFC so complex is, hell, we didn't even talk about the Steelers and the Ravens. And what happens if Lamar wins, right? This sets up, it sets up so lovely. Next week, next Sunday is going down. Because we're about to see, next week, we're going to definitely see, this time next week, we'll know who's in the playoffs, what's going on. We'll know everything Monday morning. Okay? So next week is going down at both divisions. Now, the reason why I said more so the AFC is, like I said, complex, and this is not to knock the NFC, but check this out. To me, if you want to be all honest when it comes down now, 49er fans, let's be honest here, right? Let's really be honest. If I have money, house money, to bet, I will put it on either the Rams or the Eagles based off of their offense and their defense. Okay. 49ers, we would have to go leading with our offense. Okay. Both of those teams, right, can win games with offense or defense. And that's big. The 49ers not, and what I mean is dominant performance. Since Bosa and Warner's been out, the 49ers has not had a dominant performance on defense. Okay? No dominant performance on defense. Both of those teams have, you seen, the Eagles, Bills didn't score a point to the second half. And the Bills got it down there. Okay? And that's why I said I would love to see Josh Allen have a number one quarterback, wide receiver, based on the fact that if he had a number one, then you don't have to keep relying on it. Like, they kept running the same damn play, and it just was not working. Shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles secondary, because their secondary dope is into. Hey, look, one thing that I respect about Philly, even after them winning the Super Bowl last year, they still made a trade to ensure their defensive line, their secondary. Remember, they had Alexander from the Ravens, who was once on the Packers, and then, but they were able to sit up here and make some trades around before the trade deadline. Excuse me. So, Rams, their defensive line. So, I do say, honestly, even if the Super Bowl goes through San Francisco, the road to the Super Bowl go through San Francisco. Their defense can step up in such a way and be dominant in such a way that we would, as far as the 40 on the 49er side, like that would give us a little bit of a problem. And that's the only reason why years prior we didn't have, as far as us having a number one spot, being in the playoffs, we didn't have any injuries that was big enough to, you we didn't have any injuries going into the playoffs with our best defenders being down. Think about the Super Bowl runs, even though when we lost to the Chiefs, the only one, right, that we could say, and it happened more so in the game with Bowman in Seattle in the NFC Championship game, right? But that was in game. So that is when we were talking about defense and on the NFC side, that is what makes it. I don't, even though the 49ers could get that number one spot, I don't necessarily feel that they will be the best team. They have the number one spot, but the best team to me would be Philly or the Rams, right? And like I said, this is just based off their defense. Of course, we know anything happens when you get in the playoffs. It can be some injuries. Everybody can start getting hurt. I'm just saying, my optics and seeing, yes, division, anything can happen in a division game if the Rams play the 49ers in the playoffs. Okay, anything can happen. Defensive line, a good defensive line in the playoffs, hey, that's lightweight and impossible to fucking beat. You seen that shit last year with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. A great defensive line that getting pressure, just getting pressure, causing havoc. Yeah. So, shout out to the 49ers, right? Shout out to everybody that won yesterday, right? Like I said, we about to get in some next week, last week of football. Damn, this year went by hell fast. It's already this year as far as sports. It feels like damn week one was like 5 weeks ago. It don't, but it's been moving. It's been moving. The season's been moving. Entertaining season. I hate so many injuries. You know, a lot of injuries, not just with the 49ers. I had the Ravens. You seen Cincinnati. A lot of injuries everywhere. You know, I would like to see the injuries go down. And let's keep it 100 with you real quick. What did Sunday night game look like to you? Sunday night game looked like a college game, right? It really looked like a college game. And I've noticed around the league that that's kind of the theme. Like the NFL looks like college. Do you remember when the NFL was the NFL? When in overtime, you prayed to get the ball back, right? You prayed for your team to get the ball back because you knew one score is over with. You knew that. And that's why I like to see teams like Philadelphia, the Rams, the Broncos, just their defense. I love defense. We know we need the offense. But defense, if you have a nice defense, your linebackers, your pass rushers, your defensive line, your secondary, your corners, your safeties. If everybody is playing like one, and we've had a chance to see some great defenses over the years, not just with the 49er defenses with Patrick Willis, Bowman, but even with Ray Lewis, the Giants, the Patriots. We've seen great defenses. Yet it that was my only thing looking at yesterday's game was like, damn, this shit looked like it just looked like college, and that's the theme of the NFL is high scoring games. High scoring games. Not saying that it wasn't no high scoring games back then, of course it was. But just the rules change. You get what I'm saying? And I'm more talking about the rules, more so the rules. It looked like college. It looked like college. But anyway, shout out to the 49ers. Shout out to everybody that went. NFL Smoke Talk. BTV out.